Truth Unveiled here, and today I have so much to share with you because I think you really need to see what's going on and how media is just glossing over this as usual. But I'm at Zero Hedge and it says the Fed sends a frightening letter to JP Morgan Chase. Corporate media yawns as usual. I'm going to take you to that letter, what they said, and the real implications and how this is a warning to America about the coming collapse, which is even at the door. The end is here. But it says, yesterday the Federal Reserve released a 19-page letter that it and the FDIC had issued to Jamie Dimon, the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, on April 12th as a result of its failure to present a credible plan for winding itself down if the bank failed. But I thought banks were too big to fail, and of course this was a couple of days ago. The letter carried frightening passages in large blocks of redacted material in critical areas, instilling in any careful reader a sense of panic about the U.S. financial system. Now we know the truth about the so-called financial system, how it's rigged, staged, and planned ahead of time, and how the Zionists, the ones who are behind the Federal Reserve, how they not only plan and stage what the economy is going to be, but they're the ones behind the control, and they can stage a demolition anytime they want. So keeping that in mind, it goes on to say, a rational observer of Wall Street's serial hubris might have expected some key segments of this letter to make it into the business page. A mere 8 years ago, the U.S. experienced a complete meltdown of its financial system, which was staged, leading to the worst economic collapse since the Great Depression, okay? President Obama and regulators have been assuring us over these intervening 8 years that things are under control. As usual, they have everything under control. But according to this letter, which we're about to go to, that the Fed and FDIC issued on April 12th to JP Morgan Chase, the country's largest bank with over $2 trillion in assets and $51 trillion in notional amounts of derivatives, things are decidedly not under control. Do not be fooled by what they tell you. Don't believe a word they tell you. They as in your government. And it says at the top of page 11, the federal regulators reveal that they have identified a deficiency in JP Morgan's wind down plan, which if not properly addressed, and it says this, could pose serious effects to the financial stability of the U.S. Why didn't JP Morgan's board of directors or its legions or lawyers catch this? Not only that, but when it says serious adverse effects, what effects is that talking about? Like, oh, an economic collapse. And for those of you who, know about the coming economic collapse, I'm telling you, this coming economic collapse is going to be nothing like what we've ever seen. It's going to be very bad. And like I said in my previous videos, they're staging it little by little. They're staging it slowly and slowly and slowly with banking glitches and bail-ins. It's all staged in control. It's not this big boom. But when it happens, what is going to happen? It's going to cause some serious effects. Like, for example, you're not going to be able to go to the ATM to get money out of the bank. Not only that, but the EBT and the SNAP cards are going to shut down, so that if you use this, you're not going to be able to get food. And if you don't have, and if you're only reliant on an ATM or debit or credit card, well, you're not going to be able to get food or water from the stores, because most likely they're going to shut down the stores as well as the banks all simultaneously. And what's that going to lead to? Civil unrest. And that's what your government is preparing for. And I have documentation to even prove that, which I'm going to take you to later on. But it says it's important to parse the phrasing of that sentence. The federal regulators didn't say JP Morgan could pose a threat to its shareholders or Wall Street or the markets. It said that the potential threat was to the financial stability of the U.S. But why would this be a potential threat to the financial stability if, according to them, everything is okay? Something's not making sense here. I wonder why that is. What are they trying to hide? It says, how could one bank, even one as big and global, or not global, but as JP Morgan Chase, how could it bring down the whole financial stability of the U.S.? Simple, controlled demolition, which is what they are getting ready for. And the article goes